Okay, it may not be 100% professional, but
No, that's all right. It usually goes for an intro, but I don't know how to get the intro to go up. So I think we're technically live.
I think we are live.
Okay,
I
we'll
think I
just
see
rock.
it.
Okay, we'll just rock and roll with that then. So no worries. So we'll start off with
Sorry about that.
ah, all of my all my stuff's gone.
Uh-oh.
All my stuff's gone. Okay, well we'll just rock and roll as it is. Yeah, everything I put up, we'll just talk as it goes. So Kyle Rudolph, is he going to be the gift that can keep on giving?
I believe so. I really discount what went on in the New York, the Giants.
Hmm.
I mean, from the offensive, defensive side, offensive line, defense, like the whole team was a complete train wreck.
Hmm.
So, I mean, when you got Mike Glennon as your quarterback, that's
And
not saying much. So his numbers, no matter who,
yeah.
you could have had Grunt, you could have had Grunt there, and that his numbers would have been horrendous. So I
Hmm.
believe I go back to his days in Minnesota. He was solid in Minnesota. He was a two-time Pro Bowl selection, I think in 2012 and 2017, 16, I
That's right.
believe. Um, yes, with Tom Brady, he's going to have solid numbers. I mean, if I had to make a prediction, maybe 45, 50 catches, 600 yards plus maybe about 5 or 6 touchdowns. It's going to be just solid numbers, and that's what we need.
That is a solid number if I ever saw one. I would go a little bit less. I'd probably go down in the 400s, and I'd probably go with between 3 and 4 touchdowns. It all depends on what great Break can do. Because if Break can outshine him, or they share the field and it's a 50-50 split. I think the difference with Rudolph is he can block, and he's probably a more accomplished blocker than he's much more physical as a tight end. So I think that
Yeah,
might allow him, and I think that's the only reason he's there is that if for me, this is the signing I wanted because, and a lot of people are like, well, what about Cameron Brate? What about this person we signed? We got guys in the draft, and I'm like, well, but they're unproven. They haven't actually done anything yet. And you can turn around and show me college tape all day long, but that's not NFL players.
yeah, and Brady is not in his last season. If this is last season, Brady has never been very patient with rookies.
No.
He's still part of the New England culture where it's like do your job. If you screw
Hmm.
up on your job, you're in a doghouse and next man up. So
Exactly.
I like Kyle Rudolph a lot better than Greg Oden, I believe. Who
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah.
can't pronounce it. K. Dotton. K. Dotton. I'm going to go with. Put money on that. Yeah. K. Dotton. I'm not sure of the pronunciations, but I'll go with K. Dotton. Yeah, I think the problem with him was like a lot of people have got a lot of hype on him. He's got good tape and what have you, and they're like, oh, he's the best tight end out of that draft class, or the second best, or the third best, or whatever. He was
Mhm.
drafted in the fourth round. If
Yeah.
you go and look historically how fourth round tight ends pan out, their
Not very good.
first year is quite quiet. It's not bad. You can find some highlights, but you'll find a lot of lowlights before. You'll find guys that haven't caught many balls. You'll find guys who don't have
Mhm.
touchdowns, and that's fine. It's a develop. The fourth round pick is a developmental role that's kind of like you're not gonna start, but you're gonna get a taste,
Yeah,
and
he can
then
be like Tanner Hudson that played
yeah.
in a couple years ago in the Super Bowl and stuff, maybe on third downs, like jumbo package on running plays, or maybe like goal line packages. They could be on the field, but it's
Hmm.
not going to be a lot. I mean, they may see more time on special teams than anything else.
For me, if anything, this is win-win because if K. Dotton is all he's cracked up to be, he'll beat him out in camp. They're
Yeah,
gonna go camp as long as there's not a ton of guaranteed money on the line. It's win-win, and I don't think it is because it looks like it's a last-minute signing book just before camp. You're not going to pay a guy a ridiculous amount of money at that point in time when he hasn't got nowhere else to go. So you
no,
bring in a guy, and if K. Dotton isn't up to the task, you've got somebody who has experience, who knows how to play, and you're ready to rock and roll. This is supposed to be a Super Bowl team. You
yeah,
can't nurse players into being Super Bowl players. They've got to be them straight away. And someone like if you look at Kyle's, is it
was
no,
it one from Atlanta, Kyle Pitts? You're talking about?
yeah. But if you look at other guys around the league, it takes them a year to develop. Other than him, I mean, other than his touchdown ratio, he was solid. But they don't play him like a true tight end.
No,
And
he's
that
like a
I think
hybrid.
yeah, he's what I call a nasty split. I don't know if you know what that means.
Like what like he can be like a
It's
wide
like
receiver slot and
halfway between the slot and the tight end.
yeah.
Nasty split. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. He's not going to get you a lot of block. Man, he can do an okay job. But if you're looking at tight ends, you want someone who can do a bit of everything. For me, anyway, it's when I look at linebackers. That's why I love Levante David. I love Levante David because he ticks every box. Can he shed a block? Yes. Can he make a tackle? Yes. Can he blitz the quarterback? Yes. Can he pick a ball off? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can
And
he
he
rip
can
the ball out?
also,
Yes.
and he has great play recognitions at the line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can see a screen or a bubble or whatever, like before the ball snap. Like he's like pointing and screaming, getting people in their position because he can see things before the quarterback can even, like mediocre quarterbacks can even figure out what he's figured out. I mean, Levante David to me is probably the third best linebacker in Bucs history.
And you can argue it could go to 2. I mean,
Could go to 2.
he could end his career at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or 1, depending on what happens in the future. But I'm more going to 2.
Yeah, because he just hadn't made that many Pro Bowls like Derek Brooks did. I mean, he made 14,
and
12, something.
He's not as not saying he's not communal at all, but like you look at Derek Brooks, what he did for the community of Tampa as well. Like he's a living legend in that area.
Yeah.
So
Kind of like Warwick Dunn.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We got our first comment here. So Jeff Olson with Kokef will be, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right because they don't say these people's names all the time. I don't watch all of the draft. Will be that special team, that will be that blocker special teams guy. Absolutely. I mean, that's what that position's for. If people think he's going to come in and like be a starter or something, it probably isn't. And that's one thing I've been trying to stress is like, I like the picks that we picked up, but I think there's a little too much hype. This is a Super Bowl roster. You want experience and then get guys to grow into roles. That's what the 4th round pick, that's what 5th round picks do generally. Not many people, and you look around the league, not many people hit on 5th round picks. It just doesn't happen.
No, it's rare. You're not going to pick up a Tom Brady in the 5th or 6th round like every year. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime when you get a generation player like that.
Exactly. Johnny is in the building.
Here's Johnny.
I just wish he put his face up to the camera just when he did that.
Right.
That would have been the tip off. What's your note on? What's the note on? Oh my gosh, I'm frightened already. There are people of motels running around and oh shit, it's him again. What's the post-it note on Captain America's shield?
Huh?
What's the post-it note on Captain America's shield?
Passwords.
If you can zoom in, people, you know everything.
Yeah,
that's why he has it on a lower grain. He has a filter. He's got that filter on.
You can get my dog locker that way.
Unfortunately, my banners aren't working, so we're just playing about and the old. Oh, here we go. We got some more. Draft pick finally signed. So Logan Hall finally signed his contract. Everyone was kind of making a bit of a fuss. Yeah, it took a while. Usually it's set by the guys in front of him and the guys behind him. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean,
well, there's already draftees have they're on a fucking a budget basically.
Exactly.
You know? Every position, everywhere you're drafted, there's a fucking price tag on that. Okay. So everybody, when they're coming in, everybody knows what they're going to get, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 2nd round draft pick. I mean, something about the 4th year option. He wanted guaranteed money in his 4th year.
Right.
I know you probably should have been a 1st round draft pick. You're a 2nd round draft pick. I'm like, come on, man, you need to get your butt on the field. I mean, everybody else is signed. Like, quit being a diva.
Trust and believe. If he knocks it out of the park, they will throw money at him. They did it to Vita Vea. They've done it to everyone else. You perform, you'll get it. At the Bucs, I would say a lot of the front offices, you perform. We don't have a past where we tend to treat people like trash. To be honest, we have a good. I would say we probably have a good reputation within the league.
It's also a very, very friendly team where they will take deals and push their money here and there. But you're not going to see the top paid player on the Buccaneers. You'll never see that. If that's what you're looking for, then he might as well.
You don't need to though. You don't have to pay income tax.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when you can turn around and go, hey, mate,
Yeah, but you
we'll
pay
pay you later?
tax. It makes up for it in Florida, man.
I mean, like we was talking about Mike Evans, so if he gets a big contract extension, he's still going to take pay cuts. He's never going to be the top paid player because he's just not that way. He's not a what's his name from the Raiders just signed?
Devontae
Adams.
He's not a Devontae Adams. He's not a diva. He's a
Tyreek
team
Hill.
player. God, yeah.
And there's some players there, but they're not. He's not hunting for money, and I respect it because at the end of the day, he was a good enough player that he could go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have, and he's stuck with us.
Well, I thought
paid off dividends because he's got a ring, and those two don't.
I thought for a minute,
Hill's got one. Hill's got one.
It
might be the only one he gets though.
What?
Sorry, I was saying that the other two guys don't have rings, but Hill's definitely got rings. But he might not. That might be the only ring that Hill gets because he ain't getting one with Tua.
Tyreek Hill. Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
I was worried about there for a minute because he kept holding out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh boy, do we got one of them now?
Oh, with Logan Hall.
No, Godwin.
Yeah,
Godwin.
I was worried about Godwin.
Yeah, second year he was franchise tagged. Is that right?
Yes.
Or is it I was thinking. I knew he got tagged twice.
And usually, if somebody's tagged, they don't want to re-sign with that team because that tag is really a pain in their ass. You know what I mean? And to get tagged twice.
Mm-hmm.
But
no one wants to get tagged twice. I think that, and then that's when it starts to go into this guy could actually hold out. And I don't think we've had a holdout for I do not know how long. We'll go to the day one guy.
I mean, you look at Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett got tagged, and he signed not a massive deal, but it was a good deal. Yeah,
good deal. That's it. That's what you can expect with the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
Get a solid deal. Pay no income tax. Have some fun. You're already where you want to be. Tampa's got everything, really. If you think about it, it's a headstone throw away from Disneyland. You can go and do anything.
Disney World, don't
you want to go
California? It's not California.
It's California, but with less money.
No, it's Disney World. Disneyland is in California. Disney World.
Disney World. Sorry, I didn't know the specifics, but there's more stuff in Florida, right? I've been to the Florida one, much bigger.
Yeah,
from what I know of.
Absolutely.
Beer, beaches.
It's better.
Amen. I mean,
Cuba's around the corner. If you want to go for a little visit, you can go and visit Mexico. It's only just a short flight away. It's in the right place. The Bahamas are not too far away. It's close to everything that exotic, fun, and enjoyable. That's what you want.
To Miami. I mean, Orlando.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things they said about Brady. Yeah. One of the things they said about Brady was that he was tempted to go to Miami because it's kind of a fashion modeling capital of the world.
Yeah.
But by going to Tampa, you kind of have to you're close enough to it that quick private jet over, which is nothing to these kind of people. Yep. You're already there, so it doesn't matter.
You don't even get to finish your drink.
Exactly. You don't even get to finish your drink. Exactly. How have you guys been?
Doing pretty good, actually.
Running around.
Running around. So I've got a little thing that I put in it. Who was your first jersey?
My first jersey? Leroy Selman.
No, that's an awesome jersey to turn around and say.
I like that. Yeah.
That was back in the day when it was all cotton and weighed about 500 pounds.
That sounds even better.
Yeah.
I bet you it was warm in the winter time, though.
No, it was not in the Florida heat. It was horrible.
I bet that was lovely in the winter, though. Like if you went somewhere cold.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was, it was at the time, it was like 2 sizes too big, but mine was Brad Johnson. The season after they won their Super Bowl, it was a white Brad Johnson.
Yeah, I had one of those too. That was a cool shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I had a LeGarrette Blount.
Oh, I used to have one of those. Mine was red.
LeGarrette Blount stitched.
Did you sell it?
No, it's still in the wardrobe. Because it's the first.
Right.
That's the only reason it stays there. The only reason it stays there. Got rid of all the James Winston ones. I sold them.
Oh, I quit buying quarterbacks. I'll get a Brady.
I don't blame you. I think I was on the hype train of thinking we got something special when we first originally got him. I think, and this could be something special, and yeah. But in all fairness, it paid off dividends. My daughter got a free jersey off him.
I got a Rondé Barber All-Star. I got Eric Rhett right there. I got Ray Lewis and Spence from the 49ers. And I got a bunch of them downstairs. I can't remember what ones they are.
I wish I used to have my old collection. I used to have. I mean, I could tell you who I have now. I have
He got now.
I got four now. I got a red Brady, two red Bradys, a white, and a pewter Evans. I used to have in my first collection. I used to have two jerseys that was custom with my name on it. Rondé Barber, Mike Williams, Vincent Jackson, Josh Freeman, Brian Greasy, Brad Johnson,
Oh, you're going from now.
Alec Williams.
There's what one. Are you wearing right now? Is that 40? Is that All-Star?
I wish I never got an All-Star. I always wanted one. I wanted like a good All-Star. The only jersey I had in my old collection that if I had it now, I would burn it or bury it was a Kellen Winslow.
You take the junior off of that son of a bitch and make it a senior, and then it'll be okay.
Right. To take the whole name off. And you talking about bad luck on jerseys, Johnny? I understand what you're talking about. I bought a Darrelle Revis.
Ooh.
Darrelle Revis, and then less than a season, he was gone. And then I had not this one, but I had a red one that was custom with my name on the back of it, and the red like this. 12. That's my number. I was born on a 12. 12 was always been my number as a kid.
Cool.
And
Doug Williams.
After that,
not bad.
Mm-hmm. And after that season, the Buccaneers announced there was changing jerseys to the alarm clock jerseys.
I got an alarm clock. I got a Adam Humphries downstairs. That's an alarm clock.
That's a dude, though. He was a good guy.
Yeah,
it was tough to keep. You were never going to keep him because of just how much money was going to come in, because he really was a good player for us, and probably one of the diamonds of Jason Light's undrafted crew that he was able to put together, because he picked some undrafted guys out of nowhere that have really performed for us in time.
I would tell you who I had two alarm clock jerseys. One was custom, and y'all might laugh when I tell you who my second one was actual player. Oh, what was his name? He was a quarterback. No, he was a quarterback.
Glennon.
Josh McCown. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I had a Josh McCown jersey.
I would like to collect all the Josh McCown jerseys.
Right? Probably one like who has it more, Fitzpatrick or Josh McCown?
He's going into coaching now, so.
Yeah,
McCown or Luke?
McCown. Okay. Josh McCown's going in. He almost got the Texans job.
Yep.
Oh, nice. What do I have to his brother, Luke McCown?
Yeah, that's the one. We also had him too.
Yeah, we have both of them. I was actually a bigger fan of Luke McCown than Josh McCown.
Now, you didn't do too bad with Darrelle Revis, because you can keep that as a legacy jersey, because he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So I got a Josh Freeman jersey. Now that's the one you want to hurry up and get rid of.
I have 5 of them.
Oh my god!
Wow. What color could you what version did you need?
And then I had to get rid of both of them and stuff after I saw him playing. Man, I was like, oh no, I can't do this.
I had a black Josh Freeman, a white, a red, orange, and some kind of anniversary red jersey.
Oh, I got you. Well, Fred Moore here his first one was a white Hardy Nickerson.
That's a good one.
Ooh, I like that. That's who I was talking about.
It's
second best linebacker of the Buccaneers. Yeah.
I was very lucky to do a coaching seminar with him, and he's a really cool dude. Really cool dude. He's all he talks is Tampa 2, Tampa 2, Tampa 2. That's his scheme. He's now currently a head coach at I think it's Bishop Dowdy in California, for their high school team, and he's gone back into coaching. He did coach the linebacking crew for a while under Lovie Smith for us. So he's a huge Levante David fan. So that's kind of cool, just to have it's almost like a passing of the torch almost.
My
Mhm.
favorite linebacker we ever had was Dewey. I'm sorry. Hardy's my second favorite, but Dewey was my favorite.
Yeah,
He
just
was
that
funny.
no nonsense attitude.
Yeah. Well, it was the Summons, man.
Yeah, Oklahoma royalty.
Yep.
I'd
And
love to get an
Dewey
Antonio
was
Brown
one of the hardest.
jersey.
Dewey was one of the hardest hitting
Why?
linebackers
Why
out
would
there.
you want an Tony Brown so you can throw it, take it off, and throw it in the stands or something? Throw it in the yard and let the dog eat it? Throw it at the mailman. He's gonna take it off and start doing jumping jacks and throw his jersey at the mailman. That's what he's gonna do.
My little girl had found out that I do a show with you guys, and it gets put on YouTube. And she now thinks she's now very proud that her dad's a YouTuber, and she can obviously hear me on the show today. And she wants to little pop up. Say hello, Iris.
Hello.
Hello, Iris.
Hello.
Hi.
And she's a Bucs fan, aren't you? Who's your favorite player?
I still have no clue.
It used to be Jameis Winston. It used to be Jameis Winston.
What'd she say now?
She has no clue.
Oh,
Yeah, she has to think about it. What about Tom Brady?
Mike Williams. I mean, not Mike
Mike,
Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, God.
But right, Iris, can you go to bed?
Yeah.
You've been on YouTube now. I knew that was going to happen eventually. It was more of a case of when.
Take a good, honest poll about who everybody's favorite Buck is. And if they ever stop and think about it, it's got to be Mike Evans right now.
Yeah,
Mike-
mine
yeah.
is. Plus,
I
and
think
then
the
after
thing
that,
about-
be Allstott.
It could be Levante David though. But the only thing with Levante David is he's very quiet and he comes across quite private. And that's not a bad thing. It's just like when you have a guy so
Rondé was pretty private too, man. He didn't like
really.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I did not know that. He seems very like down to earth and like kind of chill. But okay, I mean,
he knows business pretty well. He
Hold on,
knows
I'll be right back, guys.
to get out there and get into the public's eyes so that he can just keep making his money. But he's a smart businessman.
absolutely. I mean, if you can make money, you got to make money, you know.
Yeah, Vincent Jackson, Mike Evans.
I'd love to. I still want to get a Vincent Jackson jersey. I still want to get one. I just remember just falling in love with. I went to go and watch the Buccaneers play. I think we got trounced by Baltimore in 2014 during my honeymoon. And the only shining blights were Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson in that game. And I just remember falling in love with both of them. And I was like, wow, these guys are badass.
Yeah, I used to have a red Vincent Jackson.
Nice.
Love that. Oh, he was just a great guy.
It's very sad what happened. And it just kind of shows the thing of CTE and what it really can really do. It's come out big in our world in England because rugby players are starting to suffer with it too. We have a lot more rules in place, so there's less head-on-head collisions. You can't tackle above the shoulders. As soon as you do, it's an automatic disqualification, like at all. There's a lot more rules on if you pick a guy up off the ground, you have to make sure that it sounds terrible to say it, but deliver him safely to the ground. You can't just pound a guy into the ground anymore. They used to call those dump or spear tackles back in the day, and they've outlawed that, and the game's become even. If you think American football's become soft, watch a game of rugby. It's got to. I mean, they don't wear as much protection, but I'm a big advocate for this.
I bet you the next sport. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And for me, I play both sports. So I played safety and corner, and then I played fullback and wing for rugby. And for me, I would say American football is way more violent. You're going to get way more concussions. I played rugby for 4 years and I seen 2 concussions. I played American football for a year and I said 8 concussions.
Yeah. American
One's got a helmet, one
don't hold back. They feel like they're Superman.
Immortal.
With the pads. Yeah.
And when you make that hit where you get that clack on clack pads, which we all love to hear. We all love to hear that thwack.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like Superman. Because I've done it. I got up after one and jeered and get up, boy, all that kind of trash talky stuff and having a lot of fun and the kind of stuff I promote to my own defense.
Right.
But it's unfortunately it does take a toll, and a lot of people do. I understand that. I respect the people saying, "Well, you chose to play the sport," but at the end of the day, like your house worth a lot more. I think if you turn around to a lot of people and said millions of dollars, live to 50, millions of dollars, or live to the grand age of 80 and have grandkids and everything and just survive or have a decent living. I think a lot of people would take it.
I think the next sport's going to be it's going to have a lot of safety, kind of like the football and the rugby is going to be kind of soft. I see kind of hockey. Eventually, eventually that sport's going to get soft. Like every sport is going to get soft, because it's safety and concussions. But I see hockey being the next one. It's going to be a lot of restrictions going on.
Mm.
The Romans were bitching about the gladiators having to put fucking wooden swords out there.
Right.
That's a joke. That was a joke.
I mean, there's sometimes where you look at things and go, it's health and safety gone mad, and there's sometimes you go, okay, that makes a little sense. But I think sometimes the best thing to do is just have better rules in place. So if a guy does get a player does get a concussion, just don't allow them to come back. Like there has to be a point where I think the team should have their doctors should not be employed by the Buccaneers or should not be employed by the Saints or should not be employed by. They should just be employed independently. They are paid independently, and that way you get an independent, honest answer rather than because let's face it, athletic trainers want the players to play as much as they want. I've heard about Levante David even came out and said that he, as at times, as much as he loves the Buccaneers, has had to get his second opinion for surgery and things like that because the Buc staff and this was not him egging on them. He just said this is what happens in football.
Everybody should. Every football player should.
You shouldn't have to. You should never be put in that position because the problem is the athletic trainers have a different mindset. Their mindset is I need to get you ready for game day because there's pressure on them to get you ready for game day.
The best story about the Buccaneers with that situation is Randy Grimes. Go look up his story.
Okay, I will do. But there's throughout history of football, it's happened. People shooting themselves up. I think that this is kind of like the whole precursor of what people are trying to. I think what Antonio Brown was kind of trying to prove, which we all know was absolute rubbish. Because if it would have come out, someone in that locker room would have said something. I'm sorry, you got Chris Godwin limping around with an ACL. You got Mike Evans banged up in the last 2 years. Fighting through injury to try and make playoff games, and he doesn't feel that way. And he was the guy who was trying to talk him down. So I just don't believe it. The fact that Bruce Arians has always been a player-led guy just says it all. And I've just never been that person who believed a word that. And whether Antonio Brown's jumping up and down on the sideline or he's dancing in the nightclub afterwards, like I get the difference, but at the same time. There's got to be something going on. You can't. I'm just not a fan of the way he handled it, and I think it was all to make a statement.
Well, Antonio Brown's been making a statement for years, man. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he had a big ass tree house that cost as much as a house in his yard, football field. He's made his money, dude. When he sold that, he got like $450 million for it. Mm-hmm. So come on, dude, you got your money. Not 450, it was 35 million is what he got out of it.
But it's money, yeah. And we don't know what his investors and people he speaks to are, telling him to do and where to go.
I'm sure they're not telling him don't pay your bills because somebody should wake him up and say, "Pay your bills, dude. You got the money to pay your bills."
You would honestly think that this like go-to number one is your financial advisor tells you to pay your tax.
Yeah.
In this country, we don't have a choice. It automatically comes out your pay packet.
Pay your moving van, dude. Do something, You sign a contract with somebody, honor it.
Well, he's expecting teams to honor their contracts to him, so why can't he do the same?
Exactly.
You can't turn around and go, oh, well, I'm not going to pay for work, and then turn around and get upset because this team didn't pay you for work or what have you. It's just not feasible. It doesn't make any sense. You just become a hypocrite.
Well, they were trying to get him on the field to get his bonus money, but he complains that they didn't want him out there to play to get his bonus money, but then he's the one that wouldn't go on the field.
Yeah, we're talking about Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, about his ankle, but yet, Johnny, he caught – before he'd had his meltdown, he caught 2 passes and cut on his ankle and outran guy. There was nothing wrong, where he was just wanting to throw the whole injury card. They're making me play, and I'm seriously hurt.
I think
Dude, you're doing jumping jacks in the end zone.
I think for me the thing that kind of gave it away more was, and this was an interesting take that I heard from somebody, was and this is an ex-NFL player who'd said that when you're running routes and you're not getting the ball, it starts to piss you off more if you are a little bit injured, because they all carry niggles, and we call them niggles. I don't know what you call them over there. When you have just something that's ailing you, but you can perform with with it being shot up and things like that. A niggle, we call it over here. It's just something that keeps irritating you and you can't get rid of it. And a lot of players carry those throughout the year. And I'm not saying he wasn't suffering, because I'm not going to say he wasn't or was. But what I will say is, when you're running routes and you're not getting the ball, that injury starts to irritate you more. But you got to remember, Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to give you the ball eventually.
That's not an excuse.
I'm not saying, Johnny. I'm not saying it is. All I'm saying is,
look at Ryan Jensen last year, man.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, guys fought through everything.
Exactly. Torn hip.
Yeah.
Played almost the entire season. What about the year before when Brady had a torn knee?
Yeah, and Ryan Jensen plays in a heavy collision position.
I agree with you guys. I'm just saying, this is Antonio Brown we're talking about.
Yeah,
but all I'm saying is, he's a me kind of player.
Yeah,
and his attitude is always. But oh yeah, for sure, absolute for sure.
Yeah,
the fact that he's on a team with Mike Evans and turned around and went, he made out that he was the only person on that team that made a difference. It was like, that's some discredit to Mike Evans. That's a discredit to someone like Chris Godwin, because I felt last year for the Buccaneers, there was no one true wide receiver, because it was more of a. Teresa's here. Teresa's finally here. I'm glad she's back. I was kind of hoping she'd pop on the show, but if she's not going to, Teresa, we love you. I hope you're getting better. I hope you've got good news today and you can go into surgery soon. We're just keeping the spots warm for you, and we hope you're back. If you just want to come in and chat and it makes you feel better, I'm all for it.
Yep. Get well soon.
Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah. I mean, me and you talked about this. What do you think?
Well, I honestly believe it could be his second chance at a redemption story. He could get his second career going here, right? With Brady, the way Brady loves to go through the tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
It gives Kyle Rudolph a second chance. Instead of being washed out, he might be able to get another job somewhere.
And there's no saying that he can't come back to the Bucs next year. I mean, the Bucs may see enough in him. It's like, okay, we want to sign you to a 2-year, 3-year deal, or probably a 2-year deal because of his age, and be like, okay, you want to stay here? You know, I mean, he may. But of course, the quarterback situation kind of depends what Brady does after the season. If Brady comes back, maybe Kyle Rudolph want to come back.
Yeah.
For me, I'm really intrigued to see what the pay packet is, because we've got 12. Last I checked, we had 12 million in cap space. I'm hoping that's gonna be like $1 million, and we can still go get another beast.
I feel like this deal is probably $2.5 to $3 million range. Yeah. I feel like
incentivize the crap out of his contract.
I've heard multiple times that they're still looking at the Lions defensive lineman. What's his name?
Trey Flowers.
Yeah.
He just got to stay healthy. I mean,
yeah, he does. But then you got a deep rotation. He don't have to be on the field all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
Kind of like a King Nix. A King Nix can't stay healthy.
Exactly.
You got to have these guys on the field.
That's why they got Logan Hall. So now we can rotate a little bit more. We got. To be fair, for interior, we're pretty good. I mean,
Roches, Vita Vea, Logan Hall, and King Nix. I mean,
do we still have? I can't remember his name. The guy we traded for from the Jets mid-season.
No, Jason Pierre-Paul is still a free agent.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of another guy.
Oh, the Jets. Oh,
Steve McClendon.
McClendon.
He's
on the roster. Yeah,
he is. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure on him, but those guys, they can. The beauty, what people don't realize about that group of guys, they can all rotate between a 5 and a 0 tech, so they can all rotate, and that's what the beauty of that line is, because you can set up anything.
Yep.
My concern is just the edge rushers.
Yeah, it's hard
my concern.
It's hard to replace a JPP or a Sue, and if neither come back, it's not going to look the same, but it's going to be okay because we do have the rotation out there.
Bring in Carl Nassib.
I've been saying that for a while, man.
Yeah, that would be
He was
nice.
good for us, and I think why not? He's proven himself time and time again. Let's go.
Well, you better get some rest, Dan.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You need to get some sleep, Teresa. I mean, I don't know what time is over there. Hang on, we started this at 9 p.m. Eastern.
39.
So she needs to be in bed by 11 minimum. And if she's scheduled for 5 a.m., Teresa, don't stay up for us.
Yeah.
We're not. I like to say we're worth it, but we're really not. we're just three dudes talking Buc football.
Just keeping the seat warm for you.
Chris Cole, welcome to the show.
It's hard to go to sleep when you got surgery pending.
Oh, I can imagine. I fell asleep on my surgery. I had surgery on my finger. That's as straight as that finger will go.
Ooh, ouch!
Yeah. Shattered middle knuckle, and
Ouch.
yeah, football.
Owie!
But yeah, it is what it is. But I remember I finished work. I went straight there. So I finished. I did a 12-hour shift. Went straight to the hospital. I fell asleep in the waiting room while I was waiting to get done. And the nurses sat there like, Stephen Probert, and I'm like, she's like, and I was the only one in the room. She said, "Is it you?" And I'm like, "Is it me for what?" She went, "Surgery," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." So I'm going in there, and she's like, "So you need to count back," and I don't need to count nothing. I'm gonna probably fall asleep now. You're probably gonna even put a drug in me. I'm just gonna fall asleep.
She said she'll
close
get
your
good.
eyes, you'll be out.
She said she'll get good sleep at 5:30 when they put her out.
Ah, okay, I get you. You don't actually get any sleep though. Like the when you're put under, you sleep nothing. It's not considered sleep. You don't get any like bed rest. You're just knocked out.
No, because your body's working to recover.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into
I didn't realize that because I remember saying that, and they're like, "Yeah, mate, you're gonna get knocked out for 2 hours, and then you're gonna go home." First thing I did when I got home after doing this 12-hour shift surgery, I think I got home about 7 p.m. after it was all done. I just went straight to bed. I didn't wake up for 6 hours. I needed a sleep after the sleep.
Man, I need a nap from my nap.
Exactly.
My wife was there for 12 hours, man. That was a long surgery, dude.
I mean, it's the recovery session as well in between because you've got to wake up. You've got to prove to them that
you don't really go to sleep with brain surgery, dude.
Oh, no. Sorry, I thought you were talking about mine.
Oh, no. I said my wife, hers was
12
hours.
Right.
Ooh.
I don't think you go to sleep with surgery, period, anyway, so it's just not something you want to go through, to be honest.
We love you too, Teresa.
Thank you, Teresa.
Get well soon.
I just hope you come back soon because we do miss you. It's not quite the same. It's fun, but it's not the same. It's not home.
He just dissed us, man. Marty, he just dissed us, dude.
Who's that? Yeah. He's like, I love everyone, but I really want you back.
Well, I can't.
Well, that's my girl. That's my girl, man.
He's like, are we just chopped liver? Like, come on.
She steak your chopped liver. No, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and
it's not a problem.
It's all good fun. So, and I got to get to know you, Marty, a bit more, and I've had a few conversations with Johnny as we go on. So, it's all good fun for me. I mean, I got to learn a little bit more about the other people in Bucs Report.
Do you want to talk to Johnny about his favorite singer, Bon Jovi? That'd be an interesting topic.
Man, get on.
Who is your favorite singer, Johnny?
Singer?
Oh,
friggin' Christ!
Nickelback.
Under the pressure.
Old Blue Eyes. Old Blue Eyes.
Old Blue Eyes.
Frank
Okay.
Sinatra.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
My mother was a big fan of him.
My favorite group would probably be Mushroom Head.
Who?
Mushroom Head.
I'm glad there's Google. I have no idea who this is.
Well, I sent you the damn video, man. You never clicked on it.
Oh, well, that explains everything.
Isn't that the band that kind of copied Slipknot but didn't copy Slipknot?
They didn't know. They didn't copy
No,
Slipknot.
I'm messing because I knew it would get a rise out of a Mushroom Head fan.
I love Slipknot too, man. I love both of them.
My first gig is a Slipknot gig.
Yeah.
They played in Birmingham. How do you say Birmingham in Alabama? Is it pronounced the exact same way?
Oh no, hell no. They say it Birmingham.
Yes. So
Birmingham.
when people come over to us and they do the thing to the crowd and they go Birmingham, and then they get told it's Birmingham. You're like, what? Birmingham. That's where the whole.
I think the way they say it's funny as hell, man. Birmingham.
Birmingham.
It sounds. It makes me feel hungry.
It's a lot of emphasis on the ham.
Got to get me a drink.
What am I?
What? It's
Is it Bud Light
watered. It's watered.
It's like, have you ever watched The Ranch on Netflix?
With Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah. And
Sam Elliott?
Yeah. She turns around him and says, you need to stay hydrated. He goes, I'm drinking Bud Light. She says, you need water. And he's like, I'm drinking Bud Light. It's the closest thing to water there is.
Yeah, I gotta watch that again, man. Too. That's a good series.
It's fun. Just don't take anything seriously. Just sit back and enjoy. That's what I like about it.
Yep.
This is what I got, Marty.
Oh, nice.
Nice German beer.
What you got there, Johnny?
Which one?
Either one.
Gray cup, coffee. The purple cup is iced tea, sweet tea.
How
So
sweet is the tea?
It's pretty sweet. It's southern tea.
I remember me and my wife, we went to Dunkin' Donuts and she asked for cold tea because obviously it's hot in Florida. And she took a sip and went, fucking hell, this is sweet.
Well, that's why they call it sweet tea. Go to McDonald's. McDonald's makes the best sweet tea there is.
Well, apparently you can go ask for half and half.
Ooh, I got a opinion on that, Johnny. Popeyes, where I live at here in South Arkansas. Popeyes, their sweet tea is so sweet. You take a sip and you got diabetes instantly.
Wow.
Diabetes.
I don't like it overly sweet. That's why I like McDonald's. McDonald's sweet tea is just got that perfect blend, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, here in Popeyes, you take a sip and you turn into the guy from Sling Blade. That's pretty good right there.
Pretty good.
Diabetes. Got some biscuits and mustard.
That's how we say Birmingham in the north too. North of where? Tell us where you're from, Jeff.
Yeah,
Jeff Olsen, where are you from?
Don't say it like that in Pittsburgh, man, or Florida.
And which way is it? Birmingham or Birmingham?
We just don't emphasize the ham as much, dude. We don't leave out the ham like you do.
Birmingham.
I mean, how can you make a sandwich without ham? Come on, man.
It's true, but you got to remember, Peaky Blinders is Birmingham anyway. Peaky Blinders is set in that area.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's the original way of saying it, technically.
Hey, Alec is out of the car.
He's rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Oh, I talked to him halfway to Florida last night, man.
The Michigan boys, they emphasize the ham.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
They like the ham. I think a lot of Americans do. I think it's just a British thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, the difference between the speech patterns just from Pittsburgh to that's 2 states, 3 states over, man. If you go through the lake,
wait till you see
the
UK.
Right there, man. But
I could show you an object. I don't even know what you'd call it in America, to be honest. I could show you an object, and in 5 different parts of England, it'll have a completely different name. So like a bread roll. You know, the thing that you cut open and put a burger in?
Yep.
It can be called a cob, a bap, a roll. I think they're the main 3. I can't think of the others off the top of my head, but a cob, a wrap, a bowl. A bowl. It makes no sense.
I love how the British people call, it's like their automobiles, what they call their hood and their trunk. Because here in America, it's hood, trunk.
Boot.
I love boot and bonnet. Am I
Yep.
correct on that?
Yep.
Bonnet
I'm
is
having to
under
think.
the.
I don't think I've ever called it the bonnet. I think yeah, I think you might be right. I've never heard. I don't think anyone ever says the word bonnet, but yeah, I think you might be right when we have to use it. Because I can't think of a time I've ever needed to use it. Thank God for my car that's still going and not had to say that word yet. I think people still say. I think we come on to the American of pop the hood, but we still say boot for 100%. 100% say boot all day.
Or elevators a lift.
Yeah, elevators, lift. I'm just trying. Oh man, I'm going to try and think of some random ass words that you guys. I'd say. Do you know what we call the sidewalk?
What's that?
Path.
Path.
Oh, path. Yeah.
Path.
The path.
What Americans get English, real English, and Australian confused constantly, dude.
Oh, I bet.
And to me, it sounds like completely different languages. But
I think it's just more of an accent. Like if
I
you
listen,
listen to a Scottish person.
I listen to the slang words the most. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the Australians got their own language going on down there, man.
Oh, there's some words.
Yes.
They have a lot of British words. They're closer to us. If you took America and Australia and New Zealand together, the Aussies and the Kiwis, they're probably closer to our language because they say things like mate
Yeah.
instead of like friend or buddy or stuff like that. And I was like, I even when I sent you a message, Marty, I was like, I'm gonna send him proper English to my wife, and I was like, I'm gonna say mate at the end of it.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
Just
I was telling my friend and her mom that the show. He's from London and stuff, and he's like, "How British is he?" And then all of a sudden, I got that and said mate, and I was like, "He's British."
Good mate.
So another thing too is slang word over there in London and stuff, and in the United Kingdom, the UK. Excuse me.
You can
Make
say
sure I
England
this
because
right.
we don't consider the rest of it as us.
Like here in America, pants, blue jeans, all that stuff.
Yeah. Trousers.
Is it called trousers? Now,
Trousers.
see, I used
Jeans are jeans. Jeans are jeans though. Jeans are
Mhm.
jeans. If you were to wear what you call like just general because pants is like a general word. So pants to us are underwear, like boxer shorts, briefs, whatever you want to call them. Budgie smugglers.
Would you smoke this?
Mhm.
I like that one.
See,
Budgie smugglers. Words like that, then yeah, I mean that's what we think of pants, and I've got used to it. Even I say pants now and again, and I don't like because of YouTube and stuff like that. My kids speak a bit of use American English quite often. My son asked me for candy. I was like, we call it sweets.
sweets, yep. And
Sweet.
chips, they
No
call
shit.
chips crisp.
Crisps. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason I know all this, I'm gonna have to lie. I'm gonna have to tell the truth. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not that smart of a person. I used to watch the Top Gear a lot.
Top Gear, my boy.
Everyone loves Top
Yes.
Gear, though.
Man.
The
The original.
UK Top Gear, yes.
Yeah,
Richard
with Jeremy
Hammond.
Clarkson.
Clarkson,
Yes.
Hammond, and shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Jeremy Clarkson got sacked from Top Gear because he punched his producer because he refused to serve him steak?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
it's a story
Yeah.
that you guys get as well.
Yep. That's why they have the show, the
I've watched
Grand
every
Tour
season
now.
except for the last. I don't. Yeah, Gran Torino is cool as shit. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I when they left, I left. I quit watching that. I started watching.
We got Matt LeBlanc doing it, the guy from Friends.
That was good, but then he
I didn't watch
stopped,
it.
and now you got somebody else, man.
I've never been
Yeah.
into cars, so I just I switch off. I'm too busy talking to my wife and.
That's why me and him are sitting here talking about bonnets and hoods. I mean bonnets.
Mhm. And crisp.
And crisps. You gotta have some
Yeah,
crisps.
you can look at Jeremy Clarkson, know he's an asshole, man, but he don't hide it.
for
That's
sure.
what's cool about him, man. He don't hide it. I'm an asshole. Shut up.
Yeah,
I personally like Richard Hammond. That's the one I like.
Well,
he's
figured
more of
you would because he's the most American of the three.
true. And he loves, for some reason, it seemed like he loves Chrysler.
And he gets in a lot of wrecks.
Hey, I haven't been in that many wrecks. I've been in one.
He got in that one, and that was a bad one in that race, man.
Yeah, broke his leg. Just too long ago, he was test driving an electric car or something.
Comedian over there for a long time, man, before he ever did Top Gear.
Yeah, and then the American Top Gear had I
You
like
guys,
that, and they just
you
got
guys had the
canceled.
American Top Gear for a while, didn't you? Because
We
it
still
it
do.
got
Actually, it's still
oh, you
going.
still do, but it didn't, as far as I know, it didn't do as well as the English version.
It
Oh
did not.
no, nobody
No.
did. That was like the top rated show in the world out there for a while, long time, man.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
couldn't go
you
nowhere
can't.
that people didn't know who Top Gear was.
What was it they had that I think the only part I enjoyed watching was the star in the reasonably priced car, where they
Yeah,
would get
Yes.
random celebrities to drive in a car, and they would get Simon Cowell or something like that.
yeah.
Hmm.
And it's competitive because it brings out, like, it doesn't matter who you are or what you are, you want to win and you want to get a good time, and that, so it was always kind of fun just to see, and people really went for it. Oh, Johnny's in.
Hello. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Johnny, we should get that joke. Oh, you
Thanks,
muted.
Chris Cole. We are also praying for Teresa. She will be back soon. We just got to keep holding on for her. And I'm lucky to have. I'm lucky to be blessed with two good guys helping me out tonight, and I'm sure one of them will help me out in the future too. So it's all good. We'll keep it ready for her, and when she comes back, she'll be flying. Stay tuned for training camp coverage. Wow, the rookies have just walked in, haven't they?
Yep, today.
Rookies and quarterbacks, is it? I was told.
Quarterbacks and rookies. Yeah, I don't think Brady's there yet. I think
Oh
he's
yeah,
going to
Brady's on sort of. He's just chilling with his wife. I mean, if you got
wife. He's probably just chilling with Grunk. Probably. It seems like he doesn't want to spend time with his wife or his kids. He just football 24/7 with that man.
to be honest, it does look like it. To be honest,
he
yeah,
spends a lot of vacation time with that family, man. I can't.
yeah. I think he's that kind of guy. Is like, I'll get it now, and then as soon as like, I think he's that kind of person. He has a calendar. He probably has a calendar. Going,
Yeah.
this is my life. You do not enter this part of my life. In between, we can do whatever.
He's like, this is my no-no square when it comes to August. No one touched my no-no square.
August and January for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolute no goes. Just don't touch them.
He is Mr. January.
I like that, and I've not heard that before. So you could coin that.
Mr. January.
I've heard it from somebody else, so I can't.
Damn. Get it in there quick.
Make some money, Johnny.
Yes, a soft drink like Coke or Pepsi is called pop.
Pop,
Yes,
pop.
that's right.
Yep.
I've always called a Coke and a Pepsi. I've never ever called them pop or soda.
There's people here in the South that calls Dr. Pepper Coke, and which is total BS. I mean,
Really? They call
Dr.
that
Pepper.
we don't
Yeah,
do
it's just
The
people
sweetest
down here
drink
think
of
color.
all
It's got
time.
the same color. It doesn't taste the same.
no people down here thinks that a Dr. Pepper is a Coca-Cola. It is not. It's way better than a Coca-Cola. I'm a Pepsi person, so I'll tell you, Coca-Cola sucks.
I can't drink Pepsi at all.
Coca-Cola is only good if it's got booze in it.
Kidneys, dude.
That and I love Mountain Dew.
Two,
I mean,
two or
so
three
I
drinks
gotta
of
be
Pepsi.
some kind of redneck. I love Mountain Dew.
You mean-
Mountain Dew.
Oh, he lives in Arkansas, drives a Dodge truck, and you don't think he's a redneck?
Love my Mountain Dew and my beer.
He's a very young looking man, though.
Shit. I wish I was young. Not anymore. I'm 30 something. I stopped counting like 4 or 5 years ago.
Marty, stop at 30 something. Oh my god.
Yeah, you do realize right now, and I'm
30
not,
years ago,
I'm technically not that old.
30-something.
I'm not technically that old, but you are the youngest person on camera right now.
I mean, that's makes me feel decent.
And I would say you probably look the youngest as well.
All right, can I tell a funny story about this? Cause I think Johnny, everybody's gonna get a laugh at this. Cause everybody tell me I used to look a lot older than I am now.
You have a beard?
Hair darkened a little bit. There was an instant 3 times about 3 years ago, maybe 4. I went to Taco Bell and when I worked at my old job and got stuff for our little meetings we had, corporate crap meetings and stuff. And one time I got my friend something to eat because she wanted me to try the theory out and see if I was going to have the same thing. Well, I went to the drive-thru at Taco Bell and they gave me a senior discount. 4 times in a row, senior discount.
How old do you have to be to get the senior discount?
60 years old. And I look kind of old, I guess, just worn out. I got senior discounts. I don't get them no more, but I got 4 consecutive times senior discounts.
I mean,
can you
you got
imagine?
the discount though. You know what I'm saying? You get the discount.
I think it's either 50 or 4. I want to say it's 50.
I don't think
it
feels the same as like when you're 15 years old and you can get in a bar.
I think
it's not the same kind of feeling you get out of it.
No,
I think I feel. My wife answers the door. I get Amazon booze come to my house, so they deliver booze in America. Yeah, I don't know the rules and stuff. So
they have a new company that does.
So they knock your door and they will ID you. They ID me. They never ID my wife.
Dude, I live in Pittsburgh.
He's older than me.
I live in Pittsburgh. They have drones that bring your fucking shit to you from Amazon.
Can you imagine if that comes to someone's house that's been in the military and they see drones flying over and they'll be like, Russia!
It scared the shit out of me the first time I saw one. My neighbor was getting a package of it, man. And I said, what's that?
Shoot it down! It's coming for our guns.
Tiny ass drones either, you know. They're fucking big ass drones, dude. They got a lot of no-fly zones around here, so they're only used in certain areas.
I would imagine.
So, Johnny, do you think Mike is worth it? The money that's been projected for him?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think any Bucs fan. I mean, I've heard a few people more rumbling that I think it's because more the fact that Godwin has a little bit more route tree to him. But I think Mike Evans has just been that solid.
Mike has shown his route tree also. I mean, just because of his size, he can only run certain routes. Godwin's a compact dude, you know. He can run basically any route because
he's a guy who can play anywhere.
But Evans has been running good routes here in the last 3 years, man. He just never really was asked to do so before.
Yeah, you remember the touchdown he beat Jalen Ramsey. He put a
lot. That was a nice one. You could see Jalen Ramsey went, "Oh my god, I suck."
Yeah, he literally did like a stutter step.
Looked at his shoes and went, "I'm done." And he lost it to a guy who technically he should have beaten because, let's face it, Jalen Ramsey should be faster than Mike Evans. He just generally should be. Mike Evans has deceptive. My theory of Mike Evans, and I don't know, I have no idea how many people agree with me. It's just a theory of mine. Is Mike Evans is the best in the world at what he does. There's no one else who can touch him at what he does. The problem for Mike Evans is everyone else wants him to fit in a different box, but Mike Evans is like, no, this is. I got a different box. My box is this.
Mike Evans, go look at his highlights from college, dude.
I don't look at college highlights for one reason. College lies.
Mike Evans don't lie out there. What his physical
ability?
I
don't need to know what Mike Evans can do because I've seen him do it in a Bucs uniform.
He can do everything he's done. I remember Mike Evans made Johnny Manziel hyped up to a friggin' Heisman Trophy.
Absolutely. All I'm saying is, Johnny, is I think he's because he's got that long speed. He's that big guy. His route tree really more is come back, curl, go, fade. That's kind of his wheelhouse of what he's amazing at. But what I'm saying is he's the best in the world at all those routes. There's no one who'll touch him. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. He doesn't need to be a Devontae Adams. He doesn't need to be the other person. The problem is everyone wants this supreme guy who can do what Cooper Kupp can do or do what the insert wide receiver's name is. But they'll never do what Mike Evans does. Mike Evans isn't the fastest wide receiver in football, yet he can beat DBs like it's nothing. He shouldn't be able to. It's not like he pushes them out of the way or anything.
It's the stride.
Yeah, he's got long stride.
I'm fixing to get a lot of slack what I'm about to say here. I'll tell you who Mike Evans reminds me of. Now he's a little bit slower than this player fixing call out. And a little bit not quite. Yeah. And a little bit less physical. Because if you think about it, when that ball is in the air, they both come down with a 50-50 ball. He reminds me a little bit of a Calvin Johnson, just a little slower and a little bit less physical, and maybe a little bit less.
A lot heavier too. That's
a
big-bodied guy right there.
But you think about it, they both, when that ball's in the air, they could have 2, maybe 3 defenders on them. They're going to come down with that ball. That he reminds me of a Calvin Johnson.
I like that.
It may not be the most popular thing I said tonight, but it's just kind of what he reminds me of.
See, I do think college tape lies because you're not going against the best.
It doesn't. It
It
does.
does.
No.
It
No.
absolutely lies. If you're Alabama and you're kicking, hey, why is Tua not the best white guy in the world? Why is he not the best quarterback in the world? Because he's throwing to the best against lackluster teams.
Mhm.
College tape lies. If college tape
that
lies,
depends on what you're looking to get out of college tape.
I get where you're, Johnny. I get you, but what I'm saying is, it can be fluff. That's why I like Senior Bowl. That's why I like those little kind of things.
That's college football. Senior Bowl is. I get what you're saying, dude. I'm talking about.
But it's a mismatch because sometimes you get guys who are going up against someone. You got a guy who's proven trying to reach his draft stock, and you got a guy who's unproven who's trying to push his draft stock up. So you get to see a bit more talent. That's what I'm saying. It's like if you put, like for example, if you took was UCF when they won the national championship, were they the best team in football? But
UCF?
they were undefeated. And then someone can turn around and get strength of schedule. That
Wait a minute. You're talking about my squad. We're going to end up fighting here, bud.
No, I love UCF. I'm all for UCF. But I'm just saying, I did the inverted commas because a lot of people disagree with it. My point being is, from college tape, all their players should be perennial first-round picks.
No. I've seen most of what I see in college is sloppy play. It's that standout player that I'm looking for. The guy the quarterback who has the right throwing motion and the right footwork. It's the linemen who are standing there in their stand properly. That is what I want to see. When I see a lineman taking on a offensive guard and he beats him, then I know I don't care what squad they're from. That's still a 250-pound guy taking on a 300-pound guy.
There are plenty of busts in the NFL that put up good tape.
If the skill set works right, then it works right.
No, I get you, but there are plenty of NFL busts who have good tape because they're going against lackluster people.
Well, I just want to say for the record,
one of the issues with that is how hard they want to be in the NFL, because once they get to the NFL and they find out that the workload is 10 times what they had before, then they're like, oh shit, I didn't know he was doing this. Now you can't see their heart. You can't judge their heart until they're in it.
I think, and for me, that's why I like underdog teams. If I'm drafting guys, if I was a front office guy,
I only follow underdog teams. We're fixing to start our college show on Thursdays and stuff, but I only follow underdog.
If I was picking a quarterback, I want a quarterback that has thrown a lot of touchdowns against teams that they have no business beating, because that's a dog. That's a guy who's going to go and win.
You see,
because when it comes to the NFL, you're going to go.
Now, I don't like to watch the top 5 teams out there playing against teams that are so much lower than them, because you can't tell nothing by that.
Yeah, and it embarrasses some of the players who are talented that don't get a chance to shine.
Right.
I just want to say for the record, I haven't really kept up with college football here in the last couple of years, so
it's extremely hard to keep football over here. Like college football's even harder than
I'm more of a Notre Dame, but I also like the Razorbacks. But I don't really keep up a whole lot. I want to try to this upcoming season, so I'm just here just watching you guys talk about this topic. I'm not trying to be silent. I'm like, I don't know a lot, so I'm just here being a referee. I'm just enjoying it at this point. So sorry.
You said UCF. I'm all for UCF. I'm all for.
I like all the Florida teams.
I'm a USF boy myself.
I like all the Florida teams in college.
I hate USF.
I don't like LSU and Alabama. That's the only 2 college teams I can't stand.
I'll start liking FSU. USF a little bit more once they get the fuck off our field.
Right. Were they playing Raymond James?
Yeah, they play Raymond James.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
They're supposed to be getting their field here in the next couple of years, so I'll be a little bit lighter on them then. Quit tearing our field up, motherfuckers.
Right.
Production doesn't translate to the NFL. Traits, skill sets do. You can see that on film. You can if you look close enough and you know what you're looking for.
Yes.
I think the problem is everyone seems to think they know what they're looking for.
You got to have good
draft
scouts.
analyst.
I mean, you got to have good scouts and know what they're looking for. Not be like that's the downfall I see on Alabama. They're constantly like, this guy's good, because they're on a winning team every year. And like, especially Alabama quarterbacks. How many Alabama? I think there's maybe 2 or 3, maybe in the last 20 years, has actually turned out to be a good NFL quarterback.
But it was only recent, Marty. Only recently, it was that Alabama quarterbacks were being touted as good because before that you had, was it Josh McCarrion? Oh yeah, he was nobody. They were basically a phone book of who's nobody. It was only until Tua came along, and then he changed it, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Alabama quarterbacks are great," because he was so different. And then the problem with Tua was, even if he was talented, he already walked into the league with a shed ton of injuries, and your quarterback, you want to have a quarterback for at least 10 years, for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You want to double the contract you're going to get if they're a first-round pick. So they're going to have that 5th-year option plus 5 more years on top. When you've got a guy who's already
have more successful quarterbacks than Alabama.
Yes, of course. Because you want guys, right? I always say you're looking for guys with grit. And grit is something that's really hard to describe. And I always say when I do my first meeting of the year, I'm looking for the 11 most grittiest guys. And grit is something that means basically you will fight through fucking everything to do your job. And that's grit.
Well, quarterback, I just look to see who's calling their own plays. And you don't see that in the Big Five at all.
No.
That's why I think that's why San Francisco liked Trey Lance, because Trey Lance went in there. He calls his own plays. He went in there fresh, green as hell, man, and was calling his own plays. Where the hell did he? South Dakota State or whatever it was.
Yeah, but that's his Division II college. I mean, he was in the second best college in his division. He's basically Alabama, but in a different division. He
called his own plays. He read. He made. He called options. He did all that shit way before he was supposed to be able to do it. And that's what I liked about Trey Lance. And I'm telling you, the scouts saw that shit in him too. That's why he's where he's at. Intelligence goes a long way with a quarterback.
Oh, the quarterback position for sure. But then at the same time, that's why we can't take too much out of the Wonderlic test, because there are quarterbacks who've beaten it all day long, and there are quarterbacks that couldn't do it but have done great elsewhere. So it's not a good variable.
Yeah, don't go like what was his name? His cornerback went to Dallas, I think, and then they cut him finally.
Oh, Claiborne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claiborne. Was he Alabama or Auburn? Alabama.
Bama.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like every season, every draft, you have all these Alabama players, and half of them turns out to be a bust. But yet they hype them up because it's Alabama. Alabama did. It's like if the Alabama water boy was available for the draft, they'll make him out to be a top 10 pick. It's just they kiss the ass of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
The problem is it's hard to tell when everyone's doing, and I mean this in a nice way to Alabama, if everyone's doing their job right, it's hard to tell who's the weakest link because everyone's doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, this guy's done his job. This guy's done his job, and they're like it's not like they've drafted scrubs that are doing their job right. They've drafted the top talent in high school football and developed them. So they've gone from being.
You say developed. I'm not going with that. They spend too
that's debatable, but my point being is they're in a system.
There you go.
They're in a system. It works, and they do the job that they're supposed to. And when everyone does their job, look at UCF when they went undefeated and they had their moment. Yeah, that was a team that clicked. Yep. It was a joy to watch. It was an absolute joy to watch to see an underdog team kick ass the way they did. And it was disrespectful that they didn't get a shot, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. I don't know.
I
I think
understand why, but that's why I want this new college system to set up a real playoff system. You know,
but then every year we watch the playoffs and we get the first and the fourth team play each other, and it's a blowout.
no, we don't watch that. That's what the bowl games will be for. That'll eliminate the scrubs, and then when it
I
comes,
agree, I completely agree with you, because what you're going with is you're gonna top 8
yeah.
and bowl game,
Well,
all the way to the national
depends on
championship.
how
Yeah.
many divisions they end up with. If they split the country up into 4 groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
The North Division or the Big Ten, whatever it is now, and the South, right? The SEC. You take that and you cut it into 4, and you make divisions out, and each one of those 4 make the divisions. You're playing like an NFL style setup, and
Mm-hmm.
then through the season, those seasonal games mean something then,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
because it's you sit there and watch these seasonal games, and you're like and then they don't count for shit when it comes at the end.
And then you get the cupcake
Mhm.
matchups and
Yep.
Yeah, and
the
that's
Alabama
something
versus.
that's something that always irritates me about college football. You got all these major powerhouses, and like I'm talking
South
about
Georgia.
Alabama, USC, even Notre Dame, this major powerhouse. They start their first, second, and sometimes third week playing nothing but cupcakes just to be in the top
Get into
25.
shape. It's almost like training. It's training
Yeah,
camp.
exactly. It's like training games. I mean, it's
They
like
know they're going to win the
preseason.
game regardless, because they're going to win it on talent alone. So why not
Yeah.
just maybe a rule should be made that only cupcake games can only be mid-season.
Or
You get a lot more
not,
They
slip-ups.
won't want it no more. Then each
Yeah,
college will have a
the thing is, the colleges they're playing against want the money because it's Alabama.
But see, that eliminates the bowl games being worthless. See, you're not going to get those no more.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm talking about, you're going to get these conference titles.
It should be strength of schedule only.
Right. Well,
Mhm.
yeah. Each team, from the lowest team in the conference to the top team in the conference, will be battling in that division to get into a playoff. You understand?
So we'll have a couple of wild cards for the group of 5.
Yeah, and then you'll eliminate all that cupcake bullshit.
I have an idea. And y'all can tell me if this is crazy or not. How about the strength of schedule only counts for college football teams on teams you have played in the top 25?
Well,
That
if
would
you
eliminate a lot of
into divisions and 2 conferences with 4 divisions each, then you're gonna have those interdivision rivalries and shit like that. You'll still have great games with the lower level players and the lower level teams, and strength of schedule can flip flop from year to year, man.
Yeah, it's difficult because then it comes down to your athletic director. Did he schedule enough right games for you? Because the argument could be
Here's where that stops. That's going to stop because you're going to have the NCAA is eventually going to be pushed out. There's only 8 friggin' people in the NCAA to run it. All right. That's going to get pushed the fuck out, and they're going to have an actual sanctioned system there.
Section, body system, yeah.
So then you get rid of all this weak ass cupcake bullshit.
Yeah.
And you'll have a rotating schedule. Like
the freaking like the freaking every year, like Alabama or LSU playing Arkansas State Jonesboro or some bullshit like that, where you need to start playing major teams, that have a strength of schedule.
There are weak teams within the group of the Power 5. All the Power 5 aren't what they're cracked up to be.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not.
But there are teams in the group of 5 that kick their asses.
Yeah, that's just large conferences, man.
Yeah, you see, like a lot of you get all these teams every year, like the LSU, Alabama, Texas A&M. What this saying, teams in Florida and the SEC, they're undefeated or got 1 loss. But when you look at their schedule, they play at least 4 to 5 cupcake lower level division AA schools. That's bullshit. I mean, they need to play to their. I'm sorry, they need to start playing major
To their
teams to
competition.
be in the top 25 to their competition instead of having a free. It's like when they get these schedules, like, okay, well, there's guaranteed 5 wins, 6 wins. Well, we just need to win at least, what, 4 or 5, and then we're in the top 5, top 10, because they're going to vote for us because of our name.
At the end of the day, if you look at it, the COVID kind of opened up that a little bit because the cupcakes got taken off the table because of travel. They couldn't travel and they couldn't do a lot. So we got to see teams versus teams within their conference a little bit more than we got to. And I think you probably had a more.
The out of conference games are what fucks it all up, man.
Yes,
You
exactly.
gotta eliminate the cupcakes by fucking playing the cupcakes in your division, in your conference.
Yeah, and not just that, you can find cupcakes in other Power 5 schools. So you could have a year where the SEC versus the Big Ten.
Lord, look at the SEC and look how many weak teams are in there. Same with the Big Ten. Well, I kind of think the Big Ten's got stronger teams, but that's because the strength of the offensive lines in the trenches. I think the skill players are from the South. Your grunts, your defense, your trenches guys, you always go draft them from the North, man. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. This is kind of turning from Buc ball to college ball, but
yeah, I didn't want to do that shit, but
nah, I think it was going to go there eventually, you know.
Yes. And I'm not that really. I follow college football, but I have an opinion. I'm not going to.
Oh, we got to set you up with your teams, man, for the show, dude.
Who?
You, because we all the hosts on Thursday night have a set of teams to follow for college. We're gonna have to set you up.
Arkansas and Notre Dame, probably more Arkansas now. I really don't pay a lot of attention to.
I know I'm following like 11 schools, man, so it's a pain in the ass right
now.
That's
but I used to when I was younger. I used to like Florida, Miami.
Oh, I mean, just for
Notre
the show
Dame.
is who I'm following for. We just picked out teams for the show.
That's cool.
I guess the Razorbacks.
How close are you to the Razorbacks right now?
You know what? None of us have picked any SEC teams. None of us. So
I guess 7 hours, 8 hours from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Damn.
If they come to play Little Rock, it's like 2 hours away. They used to play once a year in Little Rock, Arkansas. Now it's no more.
Oh, that's crazy.
Have you ever been to a college football game?
Who, me?
No, I was asking.
Because I think the answer is pretty obvious.
No, I didn't know if you ever came over and watched the game or not. I know you traveled over here for the Bucs, but I didn't know.
I ain't been to see one. I was going to go and see the. I think it's Nebraska versus Northwestern in Ireland. They got a game in Ireland this year, so that would have been cool to see. Yeah,
I don't know if the
week 0
would be the same there or not, but I'm telling you, the best football games to attend in America are college football games.
That's what I've heard.
I really want to go over. I want to go over and watch Friday Night Lights, Saturday, and then do the old Sunday. So like the triple threat.
Oh, you want high school football? Yeah,
I would love to see. I just want to see. I want to see everything. I mean, I'm a coach myself, so
I walk down the street and go to high school games all the fucking time, man, during the season.
That's cool. Yeah. Who's your team?
Down here is the Wolverines. Yeah, from the movie. I lived in Texas. I lived in Ozona, Texas. That's the Permian Basin. So that whole Friday Night Lights thing, I was watching that shit the whole fucking time it was going on, man.
Wow. That's cool, man. Right, guys, I think we're going to call it right now. Everyone good with that?
I'm good with it.
For me.
Because it's getting a little bit late, and I know Marty's could only do an hour or so, and we got into college football rather than football, so hopefully we hit all your topics, Sorry?
Did we hit all your topics?
Yeah, we smashed the topics. We smashed them twice, I think, to be honest. But we can always revisit some stuff, and hopefully we get a bit more Buc news. They're going into camp now, so we're going to get all those camp stories.
Yeah. We got our own inside guy this week, so we'll get some video from camp.
Yeah, I feel like this upcoming week we're going to have a lot of topics on a bunch of shows, a lot of
our Thursday news. Will be recorded. Oh, I'm sorry, Marty. I didn't.
Oh, go ahead.
Our Thursday show is going to be recorded this week, so but check it out because it's going to have some camp video and stuff like that in it. But it'll be a good show.
That'd be cool. I mean, I'll be free as well if you need me because I'll actually be free this time. I've been training someone up in my work, so it kind of involved me.
Well, it'll be Wednesday night when we record it. And then we will put the show out on Thursday.
All right. Yeah, I'll be unavailable, unfortunately.
Right.
I don't know, and I've got to do the math now of Wednesday night to my Wednesday night because my Wednesday night is different to your Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we'll call it here, guys. Thank you for both of you coming on, and much appreciated. Johnny turned up last minute. I do appreciate it. We were worried that you weren't going to come on, but thanks again. Much appreciated, man.
All right, later, bud.
See you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir.